Okay, Stuart Telford to bring you the action. 8 laps the journey. Heat 1 for the sprint cars.
Thanks, Al. Reece Robinson on the pole position. 8 laps ahead of him. The green flag flies. We're on. Pumping in the ruddy part of the low section of the racetrack. Max Dumsney forcing his way through into 3rd position now in the 77 car. Stephen Gall trying for a big slide on Dumsney and losing a little bit of ground as Reece Robinson. Stephen Gall trying hard. Dumsney almost over the edge of the track. Further back is Bobby Tunks. And the heat is on now for Sid Moore with Stephen Gall right in his hammer. Reece Robinson surrenders the race lead to Dumsney. Dumsney bangs his way, shoots to the race lead. Down the back straight, Dumsney opening up a lead now over Reece Robinson. Stephen Gall trying super hard tonight in the 26 car, working his way through into 3rd position past Moore, who hasn't given up, racing hard back in 4th. Dumsney now opening up a good lead over 2nd place man Reece Robinson with Stephen Gall tossing the pogo stick really hard down there in turns 3 and 4 down the main straight. He comes in hot pursuit of Reece Robinson. Robinson in 2nd position, 1 back from race leader Max Dumsney. No challenge for Dumsney as it continues on with Reece Robinson still holding a good 2nd. A good battle on for 4th place with Sid Moore and Bob Tunks dueling it out. 2 cars coming together as they work their way down the back straight. Track still on the heavy side, but it's going to be good. Dumsney now in a nice easy line through the turns down the back straight, looking for the white flag this time around. Max Dumsney, the race leader from Reece Robinson, Stephen Gall, Sid Moore, Bob Tunks. Dumsney taking the white flag. 1 racing lap remaining for Dumsney in the opening heat for the PCR sprint cars. To the checkered flag, it's Max Dumsney in the 77 car for CR&D, crossing first ahead of Reece Robinson. And 3rd place to Stephen Gall. Next one through, Bob Tunks getting past Sid Moore on the last lap. Moore, the 5th car home, followed now by Jim Powick in car number 59, and last to cruise across the line, car number 43 tonight, Rod Kidd.
Yellow on display as John Maneef moves up onto the front row with Harry Delamont, Bruce White, Brave Bruce in the number 96 car, Peter Kraft in the 86 car forming the 2nd row, Barry Lewis driving alongside of Lorraine's dad in the 55 car, Terry Becker. George Tatnall, man of the match from the last 2 shows in car number 5, John Walsh on the outside. Okay, out comes the green and racing away with 8 laps of sprint car action and locked in tight. A roar of wings and wheels down the back section for the first occasion as Barry Lewis jumps out of the pack and Tatnall on the charge, straightens up the pack and splits them wide open. Down, turns 3 and 4, Lewis still in 2nd. Harry Delamont clinging on to 3rd, John Maneef, the race leader, and skipping away. Next one too is John Walsh, sliding out towards the cushion, down onto turn 3. Tatnall regains the lost ground and pumps out after the main traffic, but already John Maneef keeping the car straight. Races out of turn 2 as the race leader. Barry Lewis and the High Bar Gambler, the double run car in 2nd running, and John Walsh now. Walsh powers through on the inside of Delamont. Tatnall there also. Joe Madsen still toward the rear in his first run for the season in the number 12 car. Bruce White and Peter Kraft still backing it in, further back in the pack, but meanwhile John Maneef doing a great job out front, further putting his way in the lead in car number 14. No pressure whatsoever, and it's really suiting Maneef right down to the ground. And look at the Coyote spraying right up and over the light stanchion tonight. This is Winfield Speedway, the action track, as Maneef leads. Car number 75, Walsh in 2nd. main straight away underneath in the 14 car. Under siege from John Walsh, who's closed right up now. Walsh losing some ground momentarily as he drifts wide down the back section, and Barry Lewis now being challenged by Harry Delamont in the 4 car as the white flag comes out from beneath. Last time round the circuit now, Walsh on the inside, beneath goes wide, only 2 turns left to run. Beneath drifts hard on turn 4, Walsh looks through on the inside, and Walsh John Walsh on the final turn gets up in the 75 car to put the win on the board for Heat 2. John Walsh first, John Beneath second, Barry Lewis crosses the wire in third, running in the double 1 car. Back then to Harry Delamont, George Tatnall midfield, Peter Craft in the 86 car, Bruce White in car number 96, Terry Becker the final car to finish, and picking up the black and white, taking the event on the final run out of turn 4 in car number 75, John Walsh. Okay, let's pick up the field as they form up into rows of 2 over on the back section. Ivan Wilson, who's been running strong in the number 28 car. Already out on the circuit is Gary Rush, 7 times champion of Australia on the Winfield 25 car. Joins the circuit for Heat 3 of the Sprintcars. Kev Worthington in 49. The 89 car of Earl Lansley. And the 46 entry of Brad Hayward. And Paul Knott in car number 44. Hayward's teammate Paul Knott in car number 44. Right now, there's Heat 3 for the Sprint cars. Race number 4 on the card. Likewise, an 8-lap journey. Let's pick them up as they run off turn 4. Racing onto the main straight away, and Brad Hayward takes the field up through turns 182. Easy run through on the inside for Ivan Wilson. Kev Worthington, the next one through in advance of Gary Rush, still feeling his way through on the 25 car. Earl Lansley further back in the pack and tailing out the field at the moment is Stephen Horn in the 31 car with a whole heap of problems at the moment as Earl Lansley goes off the circuit on turn 4. So looks like we could be robbed of a race time for this third heat with Lansley, and it looks like a collapsed front end.
January 3rd up in New South Wales, so the action's coming, won't be too long. The Winfield Series Driver Champion point score after 3 rounds sees Max Dumsney leading on 17, George Tatnall on second with 11 points, third to Phil March with 10, Alf Barbagallo from Western Australia on 9 points. I'd be interested to see if Alf Barbagallo does the whole series. Gary Rush is on 6 points, Brett Lacey's on 6 points, Bob Kelly from Queensland on 4 points, David Anderson on 3, Wayne Buckley from South Australia is on 3, Ian Bradford from Western Australia has 2 points, Chaz Calandro from South Australia has 2, David Hetherington from Victoria has 1 point, and Stephen Gall from PCR has 1 point.
Hayward to lead away in advance of Kev Worthington, Ivan Wilson and Stephen Horn. All right, we've got green flags remaining. Take it flag to flag as he heads from turn 2 down the back section. Kev Worthington moves up strongly to issue the challenge. Down on turn 4, this is Heat 3 of the Sprint cars. Hayward leading from Kev Worthington and Ivan Wilson in car number 28. Stephen Horn, the first season rookie, further back in the number 31 car. And Brad Hayward sees a chance of a win go off the board in the 46 car as he has a lose on turn 4 and tails off into third running, virtually handing the race on a platter to Kev Worthington in car number 49. Ivan Wilson in the 28 car, and Hayward slotting into third. This time onto the main straightaway, the white flag coming out to Worthington in the 49 entry. From Ivan Wilson and Brad Hayward, final run around the circuit, and it looks to be Kev Worthington who will be taking the money for an easy heat for Heat 3. Black and white out DeVille Engines, entry car number 28. Oh, and Brad Hayward drops it on the final turn. Now we need to see if the 31 car of Steve Horn. All he needs to do is motor across for the black and white, and he'll pick up third as Hayward backs the car around on the final run. So Stephen Horn will in fact pick up,
to his surprise.
So to his surprise, the third place in car number 31. So there's a check in it at the end of the night for Stephen Horn. Good on you, Steve. In the number 30. Sprint Car Cup, 20 laps the journey. Okay, let's look at the field as they form up into rows of two, looking for the green. 20 laps the journey, round 9 of the Winfield Sprint Car Series, and the City of Parramatta Sprint Car Cup. Racing now as the green flag comes out, and Bruce Wyatt takes the field up through turns 1 and 2, and the action is on. Round the outside, in the 86 car is Peter Kraft as Trevor Shield powers through on the inside. Shields takes over second running, Bruce White the leader. Back then to Ivan Wilson, Terry Becker best to the rest in advance of Kev Worthington. The double one car also there, Barry Lewis, George Tatnall, and Lewis climbs up and over the tail of Peter Kraft, but drops back to the tail of the field as they race on. Tatnall through on the inside, up to position 6. Bob Chunks, Chunks crashes straight into the back of Peter Kraft. Oh, and Sid Moore on the inside also of Max Dumsley. What a race. Incredible sprint car action. This is the Winfield Sprint Car Action Track. Gary Rush now comes up to take over position 7. Bruce White is still the leader in the 96 car from Shields and Wilson. George Tatnall halfway round, and Gary Rush closes right up. George Tatnall with a half spin, and Gary Rush is there. Meanwhile, Bruce White continues on his winning way. Under the Winfield scoreboard, races the leader out of turn 2. Bruce White, there he is, down the back section. Trevor Shields, the next one through. What a race it is. Australia's fastest sprint car circuit, the Winfield Action Track. Pure clay giving you sprint car action, second to none. Tatnall still in advance of Gary Rush and John Walsh. Back further to Max Dumsley. Stephen Gore retires a 26 car and goes back to the pit enclosure. Plenty of action further back in the mid-markers as Gary Rush continues to taste George Tatnall. Terry Becker with a high flyer through the tail end is also in the 55 car. But no change in the 1, 2 and 3 readout. Bruce White leading, Trevor Shields in the 17 car, holding down third still. There's Ivan Wilson. Oh, look at the pack field further back. George Tatnall slowing in the 5 car as Rush races through now. Tatnall's blown a front tyre on the Winfield 5 car and we're looking to going out. Can we get the 20-lap journey through? Ivan Wilson still in third, Trevor Shields in second, and Bruce White driving beautifully down through the lap cars, lifting a front wheel, hiking away. Look at Bruce White, head down, working away at the wheel. In the aging 96 car, but the engine's as fresh as yesterday as he races up through turns 1 and 2. Trevor Shield under siege now from Ivan Wilson, who's really picked up ground. Terry Becker would be the next one through, followed up by Kev Worthington. John Walsh has got by Gary Rush, who drops back one in the 25 car. Max Dumsley and Bob Tunks and Sid Moore still rearward in the back of the pack now. What a fabulous sprint car race. The City of Parramatta Cup. Max Dumsley right up on 2 wheels on turn 2. Sid Moore still well back in the pack. 15 Winfield racing laps completed, and now 5 remaining for Bruce White in the 96 car. White races onto the main straightaway. Trevor Shields running up up in second in the 17 car, and Ivan Wilson still there in third. Terry Becker holds on grimly in the Goodyear 55 car as John Walsh comes through into position 5. Gary Rush halfway round, coming off turn 4 as he chases the long-gone race leaders, Bruce White, Trevor Shields, and Ivan Wilson. What an upset this race is going to be as Arthur Cowan has the white flag at the ready. 5 minutes even is the existing race record. Will they break the record? White flag going out to Bruce White in car number 96. Final run down the back section. Trevor Shields still in second, Ivan Wilson is third, and this is the way they'll finish, and the black and whites come out. 20 laps, non-stop action, flag to flag for Bruce White, Trevor Shields and Ivan Wilson. What a race, whittling across the wire now. Terry Becker in position 4, back then 2. John Walsh in the 75 car, Gary Rush in car number 25 further back, Paul Knott, Bob Tunks also there. The 77 car of Max Dumsney, an incredible 20-lap non-stop sprint car action. Finishing up in third place, has been knocking at the door all the way through the season. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a Winfield Raceway welcome to Mr. Ivan Wilson. Ivan, congratulations. Great drive through the track. Traffic will be crossing to Chris in a moment, who's got that magnificent third prize trophy for you. But how does it feel to get up and join the winners tonight?
Pretty good for a change.
Pretty good for a change. Car's working beautifully, it would seem.
Yeah, tonight it was, yeah. It suited. Usually the track goes off a little bit later at night, but it's worked quite well at this time of night.
Did you have any particular strategy as you went into the race, or were you just going to go for a break in the early stages?
Just go like hell.
Okay, so what's the season hold in store now? This must be a nice kick along for you and the crew.
Well, I only have one crew at the moment, and...
Well, you and the singular crew.
Oh, I don't know. We'll see how things go, I suppose. Just progress, and as long as my engine builder, DeVille engines look after the motor, no problem.
Well, Ivan, I think you'd rather talk to Chris very silently at the moment. Chris, if you'd make the presentation on behalf of Winfield. Good on you, Ivan.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, quiet man, but noisy driver, Ivan Wilson in for third. Here's a man we haven't talked to for some time, but what a man who turned in a drive tonight in car number 17. Long time ago, a Kiwi, but right back up here tonight as a top driver in the sprint car main event for Winfield. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Trevor Shields. Good on you, Trev.
It's only a few weeks ago, mate. Your memory's going.
It's good to have you back up here, Trev.
It's good to be here.
Yeah. Okay, so sharing the Winfield loot tonight and a nice trophy to stick on the shelf. And you're a bit of a budget racer, Trev, and it's been a hard slog, I know, but this season it's really working out well for you.
Yeah, no, it's the best year I've had for about 3 years. So just hope it keeps up, mate.
And the track?
Yeah, top track. It's really good. It's how it should be every week.
Okay, so you're just going to be playing it cool for the rest of the season?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Okay, another quiet one. Trevor Shields, ladies and gentlemen, second tonight in the City of Parramatta Sprint Car Cup. Okay, here's another guy who... Well, he finished last season on an unhappy note, and tonight he's back in the winner's circle. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bruce White. Good on you, Whitey. Last time we were talking to you, it was across the telephone from the hospital bed with a severely fractured ankle, but that's all changed. You're back on the winner's circle tonight. It must be a great feeling.
Yeah, well, it is, yeah. Thank you very much. I don't know, it's a funny game, this racing. I've been having a lot of trouble with the car, actually, which is obviously fairly obvious from watching it go around the track.
There would be a lot of drivers out there tonight, Bruce, who wish they'd have as much trouble, let me tell you.
Oh, no, it hasn't, but it's easy when you start from the front if you get a bit of a break and be lucky, but I suppose really I'd thank at the moment Max Dumsney. I've been having a lot of trouble with the car, and I rang him this morning, and we had a talk about a few things, and I went down and bought some bits off him and put them in the car, and it was, it's not up to the standard, but it's a different motor car to drive, and to Max and the boys from C&D, thank you very much. Hope you all enjoyed yourself. I did. It's lovely when you win a race. No, it was good. It was different. I really didn't expect to win, but I'm glad I did, and I hope you all enjoyed yourself. Thank you.
Bruce, did you have any idea that how close the other drivers were? Did that give you an indication from the noise behind?
Well, usually I can tell not only how close they are, but who they are. And surprisingly, I can. But I was waiting for someone to come up, and they didn't come, so I thought, oh, well, I'll just keep on cruising along here, doing it all right. But it'll get better, I hope. The track was a bit funny tonight, I think. I'm surprised I don't know what happened to all the other guys. All due respect to the place getters as well. But as I say, it's a lot easier when you do it from up the front, but a win's a win, as they say.
By any other name. Bruce White, ladies and gentlemen, and congratulations to all our place getters tonight. First, second and third in the City of Parramatta Winfield Sprint Car Cup.